Our last guest this week is Ramie Liddle, the co-author of Driving Miss Norma. I'm so glad you were able to come on the show, Ramie.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Now, there's many ways to start the story that we're about to share with our viewers, but let's start with you and your husband, Tim, and how the journey all began.
Tim and I are nomads. We've been traveling in various forms of RVs, and we actually now live on a boat for a little over a decade. So we haven't had a sticks and bricks house for a long time. So I think that's important to know as we go into our story, that we spent a lot of time on the highways and byways of this country.
So the person that we're going to be talking about now is your mother-in-law, Miss Norma.
Yes.
And how did you're traveling a nomadic life?
Norma lived in northern Michigan for her entire retirement. She's 90 years old. Her husband died 1 year in 2015 when we arrived at their home. He was very sick, and 10 days later he died. 2 days after that, she was diagnosed with cancer. So our family we were in crisis, absolutely in crisis. We're one of those families who for many, many years put off having the conversation of what do we do if the situation needs to change for our parents. We chickened out. Every year we would drive up to Michigan, talk about how this is going to be the year, and then we never got it done. So this time around we had to get it done. Norma was very clear when she was having these health problems. She said, I don't want any treatment. I don't want to do chemotherapy, radiation, any of those kinds of things. But I also know that I can't live by myself without Leo any longer. And so with that, we recognized two options, really. We can find some kind of care facility.
But she didn't want that.
She didn't, and neither did we, really. But that was an option, and we wanted to give her all the options that we could consider. The other option was, like a lot of adult children do with their elderly parents, is invite them to live with them. Right.
But you and she and Tim took a different road, and what was that?
Well, we invited her to live with us. She knew our house had wheels. And it took her, we said, give yourself some time. Think about it, pray about it, do whatever it needs. We have lots of time to get this figured out, and let us know when you make the decision. And about a minute and a half later, she said, I think I'd like to come along. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so she chose just to say yes to life, as you put it, and come on this amazing adventure with you, which you have documented in this beautiful book about her and her travels with you. And there's somebody else on the cover here.
That's Ringo.
That's Ringo.
Yeah.
Ringo was with you the whole time.
Ringo is with us. He's our standard poodle, and he turned into an amazing therapy dog along the way. Yeah.
So how did your mom become your mother-in-law become, and your mom, I'm sure too. Yeah. How did you become Miss Norma?
We started this trip leaving her driveway when she was sick. She was in deep grief, and we really didn't know how far we were going to make it. It might just be a short trip.
Sure.
And so along the way, I used to keep a travel blog of our travels, and I thought, that's too cumbersome. I'll just start a Facebook page. And so I started this Facebook page so my mom would know where we were, where a couple of our friends could follow along. And I would take pictures of her along the way. And there was a day when she just hammed it up in front of a giant statue of the Jolly Green Giant.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she had her green sweater on, total accident, and just stood in front of the giant with her hands on her hips. And all of a sudden, this very shy housewife, 90 years old, from the Midwest, all of a sudden blossomed. And we were like, we've got something here.
This is it. This is it. So that's how the book began. We only have about a minute left, unfortunately. Yeah. So you've got so many beautiful stories in here about what she did, such as that. A wonderful story you shared with me about being on an Indian reservation and everybody just spreading the way for her when she was there in her wheelchair. Yeah. But you have to buy the book to read all of those stories.
There's a lot in there.
You have to buy the book. How would you recommend this sort of journey to other people facing this type of life crisis, Ramie?
You know, it's not for everyone. We're very clear about that. What we've learned is that conversation, the one that we put off for forever, is the key. It's the key to peace in families. It's the key to a beautiful end of life experience. If you are able to break that barrier and talk about what your wishes are.
So just make your dreams come true. Live your life every day.
Yeah.
Now, finally, you have movie offer.
We do.
As well on this with Fox Searchlight. Looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
It's kind of exciting.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Please stay tuned. You're watching Suncoast FYI.